Jam Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parivata Kachaya Stutarashata Shri Srimad Advaita Ramana Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jam Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parivata Kachaya Stutarashata Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namachaya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Seko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyanandala Salakaya Chaksurun Militang Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistang Stapitang Yena Bhutale Svayang Rupa Kadamayang Dadati Svapadantikam He Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaisnavangscha Shri Rupang Sagrajatang Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitang Savadutang Parijana Sahitang Krishna Chaitanya Devang Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, before we start, we have one question. Who doesn't understand German? 1, 2. Du verstehst Deutsch? Ein bisschen. Okay. Und eine Dame hier versteht kein Englisch. So. Denkst du, du kannst ins Deutsche übersetzen? Ja? Hast du schon geübt? Okay. Ja, so hat das bei mir auch angefangen. Bei anderen auch. Okay, gut. Dann haben wir eine Übersetzung ins Deutsche und lesen auf Englisch. So we're reading and speaking in English language. So, yes, welcome. We thank everyone who has come for today's endeavor to hear and speak about the Bhagavad Gita. By doing this, we follow in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj, who is sitting on the lap of Nrsingadev. Prahlad Maharaj, he described specifically what is devotional service. Prabhu, would you like to come a little closer? No, him. I feel strange. I'm not so dangerous. I hope. And so Prahlad Maharaj, he was saying that he was speaking, what is devotional service? Because we speak about bhakti. So, but actually bhakti is not something vague. Actually bhakti is specific. And bhakti begins, Prahlad Maharaj is telling, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. It is beginning always with hearing and speaking about Vishnu or Krishna. And that is what we are doing. And this hearing is always the basis of everything else. I have so much realization over time that, like, from year to year we hear so many things about Krishna and we speak about it also, we think about it, and then more and more natural also it becomes that we act on it. Otherwise, even if we perform so many other activities like deity worship or doing some menial service in the temple or trying to dedicate whatever endeavor to the Lord, it is as much as we are conscious of the Lord by hearing about Him and reflecting what we hear, then it becomes more meaningful and more substantial and a deeper experience. So that is what we want. We want to be Krishna conscious in everything that we do. So today we have verse 31 on the board, yes? Yes, okay. So we can, you can repeat after me. We shall recite the Sanskrit first. Pavana Pavatam Asmi Pavana Pavatam Asmi Rama Shastra Pritam Aham Rama Shastra Pritam Aham Jashanam Makara Chasmi Jashanam Makaras Chasmi Srotasam Asmi Janavi Srotasam Asmi Janavi Pavana Pavatam Asmi Rama Shastra Britam Aham Jashanam Makaras Chasmi Srotasam Asmi Janavi. Would someone like to try? I request that we stay with the same melody. Someone else? Ladies? Yes? No? Okay. Then we go to the word translations. Pavanaha. This means the wind. Pavatam, of all that purifies. Asmi, I am. Ramaha, Rama. Shastra Britam, of the carriers of weapons. Aham, I am. Jashanam, of all fish. Makaraha, the shark. Cha, also. Asmi, I am. Srotasam, of flowing rivers. Asmi, I am. Jahnavi, the river Ganges. Translation and purport we read, which are given by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Of purifiers, so this is Krishna speaking to Arjuna. He continues to elaborate how Arjuna can remember him in relation to this material world. Because the goal of our life is to be fully Krishna conscious at every moment. And so our situation is not so it is not so easy in this world to be always conscious of God, because this world is designed in such a way that it will always challenge us in some way and try to take our consciousness, our thought away from the Lord. And the remedy, the cure, is to see everything in relation to God. So whatever we come across in this world, we are supposed to remember Krishna. And so Krishna is telling Arjuna, he's helping him to appreciate how he can remember him in this world in a favorable way. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, of purifiers I am the wind. He's giving 4 statements here. Of purifiers I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons I am Rama. This means Lord Ramachandra, I suppose. Maybe, actually, I'm just thinking it may also relate to Parashurama, because he was also a wielder of weapons. But then I also think that Lord Ramachandra, he met Parashuram, and Lord Ramachandra proved that he was superior. So maybe we speak about Lord Ramachandra. Actually, I don't know. And Srila Prabhupada also is not elaborating on this. So, but here Krishna is saying, of the wielders of weapon, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. So, Srila Prabhupada is giving a very short purport here and saying, of all the aquatics, the shark is one of the biggest and is certainly the most dangerous to man. Thus the shark represents Krishna. And I can say one small thing about this, because I have a male body. So previously I had a young boy's body, and I remember I don't know how old I was precisely. It was something between my 10th and 15th year, something like this. And I was visiting my grandparents, and they would allow me to watch TV as much as I like. And I used this opportunity, and especially for one thing, I remember. I don't remember if I watched any other things, but there was a several-part documentary about sharks, and it went for several days, every day, like 1 or 2 hours. I was very eager to watch all of it. Young boys, they are attracted to things that are dangerous and massive power, and sharks are powerful. Like, they're big sharks like this. In German we say Weißer Hai. I don't know how they call it, white shark or something. But they're very big, and they are very dangerous to people. I remember from the yes, why not? It's an example of the material world, how it works, and sometimes it is good to remember what this world is actually. I remember from the documentary there was one situation, or they actually filmed it. There were some group of people. They were cruising on a ship in the ocean, and they had a small boat. How you call this? I don't know how you call it. Yeah, like they could separate from the big ship and just go on the water, and from there also they took bath. And there was this one woman, and she entered the water, and she was just like peacefully swimming a little bit, and suddenly the water around her just turned red like anything, and she actually at first she didn't notice. That's very interesting detail. It is a very interesting detail. She at first didn't notice what happened, but everyone who saw her, they became horrified, and then she survived. They pulled her out, and then because she survived, so she also gave an interview for the documentary, and she explained that this white shark, he had just bitten off her leg, just like that, and she didn't feel the pain until she became conscious of what had happened, which shows that the pain that we experience in the body actually is actually in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna is speaking about this. It's a mental concoction. That is very interesting. As soon as we become conscious, oh my God, this happened, then it hurts. But as long as we don't, as long as our consciousness is somewhere else, actually there's no issue. And like that, actually the whole material world is like this, that we take it serious and therefore we become disturbed. If we don't take it serious, actually we don't become disturbed. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is even saying that that is a sober person who is not disturbed even at the time of death, who is not disturbed in all those conditions, because we are not the body, we are the conscious living entity in the body. And spiritual advancement means to fully realize this more and more. We are not this body, we are the person in the body, the conscious living entity. The consciousness is the symptom of the living force. And also in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that the sun illuminates the whole universe with light. And in the same way, one single spirit soul, which is described as it is described as so small. So very small, like spiritual spark, like spark of the fire, even smaller than that. But this small living entity is so powerful that it, Krishna is saying, it illuminates the body with consciousness. So because we are in the body, therefore the body moves and is acting. And the body is actually always a dead machine. It is never alive. The spirit soul is what is alive and is living in the body and moving the body, like a person is driving a car or an airplane or a helicopter or some tractor or some other machine. The machine in itself will never move an inch, but because there is a living force who is pushing some buttons and how to say, creating some reactions by his movement, therefore the machine moves. So our material body is actually also like that. It's a machine. Krishna is saying that also in the Bhagavad Gita, that he's describing the material body as yantra. Yantra means machine. So the body is a machine, and the more we realize this, the less we are emotionally involved. And even if we lose a leg or we leave the body, it doesn't matter. If you go out of your car, you don't cry over it unnecessarily. And therefore, Krishna is saying the sober person is who understands that this is not me. I'm going out now, and I'm not coming back, and that's all right because I'm not this machine. So, but our issue is that we are not conscious of this, and therefore we are attached to the material body, and therefore we cannot find out who we are instead. We think that we are the body, and therefore we will not try to understand who I am. Srila Prabhupada, so many times he would say that this question, who am I? That is a very intelligent question. It sounds so simple, and we may not understand what it means, but this is a very intelligent question. Who am I? What am I? What am I? And this is where spiritual life actually, or conscious spiritual life actually starts, when we wonder, who am I? What am I? So, and that actually is the meaning of life, to find out who one is. And then that even is only the beginning, because after self-realization comes God-realization. When we are, the more we become self-realized, the more we also become God-realized. And actually also the other way around. The more we become God-realized, the more we become self-realized. So they go hand in hand. So, and then once a person is asking this question honestly and sincerely, then that person will try to find out the process for finding the answer. And there is one answer given in one of our books in our tradition, which is called the Chaitanya Bhagavat. The Chaitanya Bhagavat was written by, let's say like this, the Chaitanya Bhagavat is one of the most important books about the founder of Hare Krishna movement, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who of you has not heard about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? You're familiar? Yes. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? I want to know. I want to just test. He's what? What? Krishna's follower. Yes. Anything more about? Yes, that's true. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the devotee of Krishna. He is what? What is the meaning of Bhagavad Gita, or what he is doing?
He written the Tatparya of Bhagavad Gita.
No, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is this? Yes. No. This is Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a different person. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually said almost the right thing. He's a devotee of Krishna, and he is the founder of, not ISKCON, but the original movement which is expressed through ISKCON. And but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more than that. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago in Bengal, in India. 530 something years now, according to our calendar. And you know about Mayapur, right? So he appeared in that place. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a devotee of Krishna, but he is more than that. He is also Krishna himself. So that is special. And in India you may have many people who claim that, yes, I'm also Krishna, or he is Krishna, or this is God. But actually, Srila Prabhupada, he said that if you're sincere, you cannot say that anyone is Krishna. There has to be two things. There has to be a reference in Shastra, and there has to be obvious manifestation of miracles. So, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioned in Shastra. He is predicted, for example, in Bhagavad Purana, in Srimad Bhagavatam, as Chana Avatar. And this is also Prahlad Maharaj in Bhagavatam. 5,000 years ago, Veda Vyas, he has written down Srimad Bhagavatam. So there, he has already predicted the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the statements by Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, he also spoke about him. Little lady, you please close the door. So, and also in Mahabharata, there are verses about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically. And there are no verses about so many so-called gods. There are no verses about this god, that so-called god in India or somewhere else. No, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 5,000 years ago, Veda Vyas in Mahabharata, he has recorded. He has written down, this person will come like that. And he will do this. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is predicted like this. And he is the founder of the Hare Krishna movement. So God himself, this is not so simple to capture. God himself comes to show how to serve and worship God. So that is what happened. And there are some books about the life and teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and one is Chaitanya Bhagavat. So we come back to our original topic. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is written, there's one conversation recorded between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and one scholar, Brahmana. And this Brahmana, his name was Tapana Mishra. And this Brahmana named Tapana Mishra, he had one problem, because he had thought that, yes, I want to know what is the meaning of life. And because he could read Sanskrit, and somehow he was learned, so he read many, many books. But his problem was that he read too many books. And it said he became confused about the goal of life. So he didn't know what is what. He didn't understand. Not like nowadays, if you, in India especially, if you look at the Vedic teachings, there's vast amount of literatures. And some teachings, they say Ganesh is the supreme, or Indra is the supreme, or Lord Shiva is the supreme, Brahma is the supreme, and one may become confused. So, and some say the highest is to go to Svarga, some say the highest is moksha, some even say this is the only life. Here in the West, people in general, they don't go beyond this idea. They say after death, everything is finished. So they will be very amazed when the body collapses, they go out of the body and they're still existing, and they look down at their dead body, they will be very amazed. They will be surprised. So this Brahmana, he was confused. What is the actual meaning of life? And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him relatively simple instructions. He told him, in this present age of Kali, there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. It said 3 times. He was quoting a verse. Then the chanting of the names of Hari, the chanting of the names of Hari, the chanting of the names of Hari. And then he said, he quoted the next verse. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then he explained, this is called the Maha Mantra. And he said, and then Lord Chaitanya said, at least it is written like this: Sadite Sadite Preman Kurahabe Sadhya Sadhana Tattva Jani Basyatabe, which is Bengali, and I don't know if I pronounce it properly, but at least I try to memorize this verse. And it is the meaning of this verse in English language, from what I understood, is that if you chant this Hare Krishna mantra and sadite sadite, and in that mood you pray and beg continuously. Sadite sadite, said twice, so it means you go on and on and on and on. Preman kurahabe, then you will have love in your heart. Prema, you will have love in your heart. And when love in your heart comes, then sadhya sadhana tattva jani basyatabe, then you will know what is the goal of life, and you will also know how to get there. So that is very interesting, and also in one sense very simple. So if we can faithfully take this teaching that the most important thing in our life is to beg to God, or is to just have this mood of begging and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, continuously, then our whole existence will become meaningful and sublime. Love. So many people speak about love. Love is what fulfills the heart. And it doesn't only fulfill the heart, it also awakens the heart. The heart comes out, and when the heart comes out, then everything is in proper perspective, and then we will make advancement. So, and we should have this faith. And in Bhagavad Gita itself, Krishna is saying, one thing is that Krishna is summarizing for Arjuna in chapter 12. He will summarize for Arjuna that the essence of all that I'm speaking to you is simple. You always think of me, and you engage all your logic with me, your intelligence, and you always live with me. Just remember me always. That is what Krishna is saying. And we couldn't translate this into always chant Hare Krishna, always sing my names, always chant my names, always pray to me, always speak about me, and like this. And then Krishna is saying, if you cannot do this, then you engage in some regulative rituals, like we worship the Lord in the form of the deity, and so many things are connected to that. Some regulated process of chanting prescribed numbers, of rounds, worshipping the deity, coming here for every arti in the morning, in the evening, having regulated katha, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So Krishna is saying, if you cannot always think of me, you do some regulative process. And if you cannot do that, then you work for me. Like there's so much opportunity to work for Krishna. We can do something in the garden, we can keep everything very clean, we can do so many things. We can work in this world and earn some money and give it for God-conscious purpose. You can put everything here in the donation box as much as you like. There's no limit, no hindrance. Or you can support some endeavors which are going on for the spreading of Krishna consciousness. You can help in the printing of books, and they can be distributed to the general people. All these things, so you can work, and the result of what you work, that you give. If you grow your own vegetables, you can bring them here, and we can cook them for the Lord, and we can give it to Him for lunch. But we should understand the essence of all those endeavors is that ultimately we come back to this very simple Hare Krishna, God, please accept me. And this very simple essence is there. So, yes. And then we can become dhira, sober, and we will not be disturbed no matter what happens. Normally this place is the place of kunta, fear, and the opposite is Vaikunta. So it says the spiritual dimension where the spiritual living being actually belongs, that is called Vaikunta. There's no fear in the spiritual realm. And we are advised to go there. And we can go there when we are sober, when we don't become disturbed in any condition, can always remember our spiritual position. So that is what we are advised to practice by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by his followers like Srila Prabhupada, by all the great saints and sages like Vyasadeva also. And if we take this serious, then we have more and more experience of this truth. Personally, I have this realization, like some time ago I was not so strong in my practice and I was tired and exhausted for some reasons and I didn't attend the morning worship so much. And I noticed that many small things throughout the day, which happen every day, but they start disturbing me more. And then one time I woke up early and I came here and I started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And within moments my mind was so peaceful. And we experience this also from this chanting. If it is done nicely, we very practically experience. Actually, I met one person once, he was meditating in a different way, and then I showed him the chanting of japa. And he said that after 3 minutes of chanting Hare Krishna, he had the same experience which he had after 15 minutes of the other silent meditation. So it is not just some idea from some book, it is practical. We experience this. What to speak of the spiritual happiness which we get in the heart when Krishna reveals himself more and more through this chanting. So it is so real, and we should really want this real experience, not theoretical, but real experience. And we should know that everything that we do is aiming ultimately towards this experience, that I'm fully happy, I'm satisfied, I feel good. I'm a very philosophical person, and people will tend to ask me, how are you? And I will start giving some very complicated answer. Because this is how I am. So, but if one is spiritually advanced, it says 2 kinds of people are well or are happy. One is a fool, because he doesn't understand that there are things like sharks who can bite off your leg. He has forgotten. He thinks that this will never happen to me. No, I will never die. That is a fool. And the other person is the accomplished transcendentalist who has realized himself beyond this matter. So even if a shark comes and bites off his leg, he doesn't mind. It's all right. I'm not the machine. Okay, the machine is broke down a little bit, what to do, but I'm not the machine after all. And I wait a little longer, soon I will leave the machine, I will go to the next machine. Best I go to spiritual world, Vaikunta. There is no reason. Maybe there are sharks, but they don't bite off your leg. So, yeah, let us continue to try to realize all these things. We cannot realize it on our own. We need help, and therefore we beg. We chant Hare Krishna, it is a begging. And when we become older, I guess I realize a little bit, and the older you become, I think the more you realize, the next death is coming. I should make my homework, I should finish my business, I should become fully self-realized. It's urgent, it's serious. And Prabhupada even said, even small baby, you don't know how long it lives. Maybe it lives only 2 years. So it's old. Old means soon it's over, it's finished. So, yes, I'm grateful for your association. I can remind myself, I can remember myself, we should take this spiritual life very serious. We should experience from day to day how chanting Hare Krishna, it makes us more and more advanced, more and more self-realized, more and more conscious of Krishna and our relationship with him. Yeah, let us just continue like this, and let us if we can, let us do more and more. Like, I don't know your private life so much, but you come here for some time. I don't know, maybe you're chanting already, maybe you're already reading Prabhupada's books a little bit. Maybe you could do more, or maybe you could start. Same for you. You can start, you can do more. Maybe your situation allows that you come here more again and again, or when you go back to India or some other place, some ISKCON centers there. Srila Prabhupada has created a place for the whole world, this ISKCON society. And there's external layer of institution, and there you will see so many faults, if you like. You will see so many people who joined Hare Krishna movement and they have some authority and then they make mistakes or they even do some mischief. That is possible, but still, if you come to ISKCON temple, you will attend deity worship, you will chant Hare Krishna, you will give water to Tulsi Devi, you will sing, pray to her, you eat prasad, which is food offered to the Lord first. You will engage in a scientific, spiritual process, and you will make advancement without a doubt. So Prabhupada has given us this facility, and we should take full advantage. And taking full advantage means that today I give my best, and tomorrow also. And if I give my best every day, it will always become better and better and better and better. And soon Prabhupada said, you follow this process nicely, you will see Krishna from face to face in this life. Even before you leave the body, even before the machine breaks down, you already become fully conscious of the Lord and how He is a person and how you have relationship, and then we will be so happy. Yeah. It is described that the great personalities, when they see Krishna from face to face, they faint, they fall unconscious because of happiness. So it's very intense experience and very joyful experience. Okay, I tend to talk on forever and ever. I'm begging your forgiveness. But I thank you that you have come, and I would like to stop here. And I don't know. It's 8 o'clock already. If some of you thinks that it's getting late, you're welcome to just leave and finish your whatever other business you still have left for today. Otherwise, if someone has some question or something he would like to add, then that is also welcome. Okay? Then we leave it like this. May all of you become Krishna conscious very quickly and help everyone around you as well. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.